Hello and welcome to another Culture Foolishness recap of Power Book 2 Ghosts. This is for season 4, episode 7.
Yes, indeed.
This was a doozy as well. So all of these are leading up to a crescendo, I'm sure.
Hmm.
I am Creed of Exodus Studios, architectsofmars.com, and my co-host Eon.
Coach, Tamara Simone, your favorite life coach's favorite life coach. If you don't know now, you know.
And we are here. So starting off, Diana's in the hospital, wakes
Yes.
up in the hospital. Tariq is there, tells her they lost the baby. Of course, she's devastated because she was actually weirdly excited about having this baby. But yeah.
You know, as someone who has been in a similar predicament way, way back when, you'd be surprised, especially when you're young, because she is young. You'll be surprised how excited you are to have a baby by a poop butt nigga, especially when it's your first one. Because see, you don't know what's about to come with it. So you
Mhm.
like, oh, it's a baby and it's gonna look like me and he cute and da 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 and like whatever. So,
Right. So nah,
um,
she was very much in that space with it for sure. But the universe was kind of like, yeah, that's gonna be weird. We're just gonna help you out with that in a messed up way, of course. So Tyreek bumps into Monet on the
well,
way
first off,
out.
Diane kicks him out because
Right.
she blames him, like, "Oh, you
Yes.
supposed to protect me. I thought you had me, and you
Right.
let this happen."
Right.
So he leaves, and on the way out, then he runs into Monet.
And then, of course, they have their little words, and he's basically like, I'm going to avenge her, and don't you worry about it.
And she's
In
like,
so many words.
this is a family issue, so it's none of your concern." And he like, that was my baby. It is my concern.
And in context, he is
He
not
wasn't wrong.
incorrect.
He was not
He's
wrong.
not incorrect. So, Tariq calls Davis, and or actually before that, what's the name? Ran up in
Kane
the hot
pops up. Yeah.
yeah, Kane ran up into the hospital room, basically to just talk shit to Monet and leave for the most part.
That's pretty much all he does these days. So that's just where we are. So we just get that dialogue, which is very entertaining, if I do say so myself. So yeah. Um,
Tariq reaches out to Davis, trying to get information about the cops so he could handle that business.
so he can what did our brother Warren G say? Regulate.
Regulate, if you will. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And that was a quickie little scene, and then it cut to Carter and Congressman Tate.
Good old Tate.
Uh,
We was waiting to see you. We just wish it would have been under better circumstances.
yeah, it sucks because
So he was IDing the body for
Kamal, right?
Kamal, and Carter sitting his ass there looking like he hurt that all of this happened and
He done
trying to
killed him.
empathize with him and saying, and Tate turned back into old dog, you
He
know?
did. He had an old dog moment in the suit. Yes, I
Yes,
didn't
he
know
did.
I would ever see that in my lifetime, but he
I was
did.
here for it.
Oh yeah, I was here for it, but I was just surprised. I was like, hey, yeah. He was like, "You better tell me I was one of y'all." I was like, "Oh, oh, oh, oh,
Right. He
oh,
was
oh,
like,
aggressive, sir, aggressive."
but on his political tip, because he was like, look, you either gonna handle it or I'm gonna go to the press.
Hmm.
And you don't want that, especially since you're all ultra guilty and whatnot.
Right,
So
right, right, right.
so he's like, well, I gotta come up with something.
And does he
And
does?
does.
Because one thing Carter gonna do, he gonna work it out.
See,
Right.
crooked as the letter S, just
It's
crooked.
just funny because like you really called it, and I don't know how I didn't catch it initially. I thought that I was good at predicting the predictable stuff, but
You thought that nigga was Detective Stabler, and he's not. There's only one Detective Stapler. Shouts out to him.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
God, that's
you
too good.
like no, he's on the up and up. No, that nigga's crazy, crazy and crooked, crazy and crooked.
So Davis goes to Noma and
Yes,
he kind of presents some options for her with her
since
citizenship.
Wiley Adams is
Right,
gone.
right. And then, stuff to make her be able to do this deal. And
Correct.
basically, in so many words, he kind of is like trying to push himself in a position where he's kind of controlling and being the face of her American affairs, but she ain't really with that.
At all.
She's like, yeah, you all pretty and swole and all of the things, but no,
Right.
I'm not dumb, my
She's
friend.
like, just because the dick is good does not mean niggas lay pipe and think that they just about to take over. No, thank
Mm-mm.
you.
Nope, that does not move her. She like him to be on point, but after that, it's like that was last night, sir. I don't really care. We're talking about money right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Indeed, we are.
So,
Doesn't Monet meet up with Carter?
I don't think that happens yet. What actually happens next is Tariq goes back to the dorm and he's
Oh, yes.
talking to Braden about, what happened with Diana. And then the dude that is in the band came in there and basically let Braden know that they wasn't really down with their little program no more because of course Braden got on stage
And
and
just
was
poo
showing his
pooed everything
whole
up. Just jacked everything up for no reason.
showing his whole entire ass. Like, why are you doing this, sir?
And as the infamous Afro Man said, because I got high.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
he was
reason that
gone.
he's
Yeah,
look,
he was
that's the reason he did it.
yeah, he was out of there. Super out of there. So, Tariq almost whooped old boy ass though too, because he was
I mean,
already mad.
timing is everything, and
Yeah.
bro just came with that at the wrong
That
time.
was the very most wrongest time of all time, I think.
And he had the nerves to be coming in aggressive. Like, you gotta relax.
Yeah, because he be wanting to fight. He damn near. I wish if BMF wasn't based off of a real thing, I wish that the shows could cross over because both Meech and uh Ghost is gonna fight. They gonna fight somebody. But it can't happen. It's not the
It won't
multiverse. It's real life.
ish. So yeah.
With one of them.
Right. So then what happens
Oh,
after?
so then Carter
So
and
that's when
uh,
Carter and Monet meet up.
no, he's talking to the his
Oh,
unit
he's
about
talking about the unit
trying to
about what
get
happened.
basically tells them a little BS story that he made up for Kamal and wants them to find Russians now that didn't do nothing. Essentially. But I mean I'm breaking it down in real, like what actually is happening, not what he wants you to believe. Like he's basically about to set some Russian up right now and help me do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nigga from the south side of Chicago.
Just saying. I am just saying.
I mean, yes, yes, and they don't seem to care anyway. Them
No,
jerks.
because they suck.
They suck so bad.
I don't like anybody on here.
None of them.
They're not
None of
likable.
them.
Yeah, none
They're
of them.
not even likable villains.
No,
Like,
because sometimes they be like cool and say funny stuff. No, not them. They just suck.
no, they just trash.
hmm
Trash Trashington.
So now we go back to prison land with Drew. And what's the cat name that he got to kill now?
I don't remember his name.
But we know that it's one of the hoodlums that was out
Yes,
there selling
indeed.
drugs and one of the
and
previous episodes, and he's
potentially about to snitch.
about to snitch on Carter. So they have a little exchange in the yard. Um, and then the guards pull up, and it kind of, you know, disperses. But it's foreshadowing because obviously they will have an encounter later in the episode. It's not gonna be the type that Drew normally has. It's gonna be on some savage stuff.
Anyway,
and
Drew hasn't had an encounter all season, and
shoot, and a half. They didn't just
every time he do, they get killed. So I guess
right.
he's
He's like,
like,
I'm
forget love.
done. Right,
I'm so straight. I'll
right.
just kill people.
I will just kill people and get money. We will work out the other stuff later. Oh man. So I think this is when what's her name? Kane doesn't like propose to her till later in the
Much
episode, right?
later,
Okay, so they
literally
have
towards the end.
oh, this is when he comes back and Davis is there and he's kind of like salty because he always salty. And it
Well,
looked like
yes,
he did just break her off though too. I'm pretty sure that's what
pretty sure he
happened.
did. She looks more relaxed and less
She does,
stressed.
and she has a robe on. That's always like a
That's always a good little, yeah, little telltale. Yes,
10.
yes, indeed.
Got her gold and black robe on with nothing underneath, probably. Yeah, she just got broke off. Yep,
Yes, yes, indeed.
that is the uniform. So her and Kane are having their little change. And oh Kane. This is funny. So what happened after this? Let's see. Oh yeah. So this is when Diana is starting to decide that she's gonna go and kill Cocaine Elaine.
Now she on the phone with Monet at this point because again, like at some point, Monet talks to Carter
Mm-hmm.
and basically told him what happened. Like, hey, Cocaine Elaine beat up Diana and put her in the hospital, and he kind of didn't care until she said she was pregnant,
Right. Then he was
and
kind of like, damn.
he was like, okay, well, that's basically like that's messed up, but like I'm not gonna let you like get her up out of here. Like that's
Right.
not gonna really happen. And so, essentially hit a little bit of a what we call it, a brick wall as it
Well,
pertains to because all
once,
she did was like let him know, like, hey, she did such and such. So now like we own that.
right,
And even though he's saying stand down, he know that they not it, like regardless of whatever he think he running, he know there was something that intimate. They not just gonna let it rock.
right,
Like you're not just gonna get to show up and be around and pump
right.
people and talk shit after you didn't know. It's not
No.
working like that.
Mm-mm.
Cocaine Lane had to know her days was up once she found out, oh girl, I didn't know she was pregnant. Like you would have cared, you fucking
So
cokehead.
stupid. He was like,
Anyway,
are you using? Are you using again? Yeah, she is. She is.
I told you to do it. Like, why wasn't it more energy towards I told you to do it, and had you did what I told you to do, then none of that would have happened. Why wasn't
That
there more energy around that?
I
Instead
agree.
of it just being like, whatever. No, because and then she was like, well, IMB was on my ass, and you couldn't tell him that.
Mm, mm, mm.
And as we kind of, I feel like we briefly mentioned it last week or not, who knows? But it ain't like it took 2 days. Like you could have went to IAB and then you could have went and did the shit after the fact. But who
Yeah,
are we? We're just
yes,
watching.
yeah. Because the way it actually went down, but putting in somebody else's hands, she took way longer to execute it than she would have. She could have did the shit and been home and pick up her son or whatever. So
And Diane will be somewhere still shopping for baby clothes
Yeah, everybody happy, but no, she
in this
wants to
anxious
be
situation.
stupid.
But yeah, yeah, well, it's the
Hmm.
Coke. Anyway.
Yeah, it does throw you off a lot. So, Diana gets a call from Drew. At this point, she's getting ready to go try to murk old girl. She's getting the
Yes.
guns and all of the accoutrement, the all black outfit with the ponytail. She's ready to be cute and kill somebody. That is what she's ready to
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she do look cute with it. She like, no.
do. She like,
Right, wave her gun. Period.
oh no.
Anyway.
Oh, so Tariq has went to visit moms, and she
Yes, he did.
finally gets him to talk about what's going on, and he
We like when we see Tasha these days.
yeah, reluctantly tells her everything as far as like Diana being pregnant and all the things. So
We saw the sister then grew up.
yeah, I know
About
it was
time.
cute.
I
She
mean,
was like,
yeah. When you see my room, and he
oh,
like, yeah. Like, oh,
mm, my heart.
anyway. What is it about sisters wanting to show our room off?
I
I think
don't
that's a
know.
kid thing. I don't even know
It's
if
a
it is.
kid thing, yeah.
Hey, come look in my room.
Yeah. Look, it's my room, man. I have my stuff in here. It's cool. So after that, we have Kane and Effie talking about, I guess this is her. She's getting ready to do this program and leave. And go what she says in California for the
She's going to
robotics thing.
Stanford.
Stanford, yes. So of course they're going back and forth with that, and he's trying to assure her that he has her back and he cares about her.
And so essentially when Kane was talking to Noma earlier after she had got broken off very very well, I'm assuming. Then basically Kane would kind of brought up that, Effie after the situation with the Russians, that, she's a little shook up and that she wants out, and Noma's kind of like, no.
Like, nah, we ain't doing that. So, they are trying to get the information. So they needed a police laptop to get some information on the Russians, that the fake
Correct.
Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously I got some names, but what the person didn't do what they think they trying to find out somebody did or whatever. I don't know.
Long story short, they needed a officer's laptop in order to potentially get a lead on these people.
And they
And
recruit Braden to help in their little sting operation, their little ruse on the cop's wife to get in the house.
but it is one of the people that's down with Carter's, and I'm in. I mean, we know it's the writing, but I'm interested in why they chose him.
Wait,
That was one of the dudes, the other dude, the one.
really?
Yes, that was his wife.
Oh wow. I don't know why I didn't catch that. I thought they just
Yes.
needed any kind. No, they needed a cop who's involved in that little
No, it
situation.
wasn't that they. No, they didn't need a cop that was involved. They just chose him. It could have been
That's
any cop. They just
oh,
chose him.
oh,
And
okay.
I'm curious as to why it was him that they chose.
Well, we're gonna find out, huh?
Indeed. I mean, I guess it worked. I mean, look, that fool ain't had no password on there properly or nothing, because she got right on up in there,
Because
download
that's
the stuff.
thank you for pointing. Because I'm looking like, don't he got a password? She just got right through the
Some type
password.
of two-step authentication or something. I'm
Nope.
like, I know, hey, in Shonda land or TV land or whatever, then anything can go. So it went. But so that part was actually very comical, this plan that they put together. Now, first off, Effie and Kane walk in on Brayden getting his Charlie Sheen on. And Kane called him as such. And they present him with this opportunity to help. And in return, he's like, okay, we want the campus back as far as, like
The
putting our shit out.
what he be the course correct knockoff and some
Right,
other
right,
things.
right.
Like he wanted all the control back to him and Tariq.
And Effie don't care. So she's like, all right,
She don't even want to be doing the shit no more.
right, right. So that's kind of how they recruit Brayden.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially they come up with this plan to where Brayden's gonna, what do you act like he was carjacked or something like that,
Yeah, and
and
believe
he had got
her.
knocked upside his head, and that he needed some type of like medical attention or minimal medical attention while they waited on the police to come in
Mm-hmm.
an effort to get in the house, and then Effie kind of dip off and get the computer and do the hacking and all of the things. And so wife was a little
Very
reluctant at
convenient.
first. Yeah, wife was a little reluctant at first, but they were pretty convincing.
Mm-hmm.
So she went ahead and let him in. And, Effie's doing her hacking thing, but wife gets a little suspicious and she gets to knocking on the bathroom door, like, hey, what's going on? And then Effie texts Kane, like, okay, like now, like come on. So he knocks on the door dressed up as a cop. One thing Kane gonna do is impersonate somebody in an effort to save Effie.
Yes.
Every single time. Everything you need me to be a lawyer. Look, I'll be Johnny Cochran for you. I'll be NYPD. Like, where is he getting these uniforms from? Well,
He
I mean,
just
he was a lawyer.
right.
The lawyer was a suit, but like, where you get this
I
uniform
think
from?
he just has them in the trunk. He just
I,
has
I mean, he must.
them.
He must. So he comes to the door and is like, okay, I'm responding to the call, blah, blah, blah. She's done hacking. So she comes out and, as they're leaving, then Kane is like, all right, come on, Caucasian male.
It took me a couple episodes, a lot of episodes. Like I watched this episode a few times, and I didn't catch that maybe the first time, and I was just like, okay, always they give you the lines. Either you ad lib in that, or you really
you
have
know,
some great writers, and that's
no, it got to
impressive.
be him. I can't. It's
Yeah,
too good. But I mean, you just never know. But yeah, so after that,
Diana
then
was
well,
spying on Carter and old girl
but
having
this is
those
right. This is when they
conversations.
have the conversation where Carter confronts
Confronts
her
her.
about the situation, and he's like, "Are you using again?" And then they go into this whole thing, and he finds out that Tariq is the one who killed Zion, and that they got the whole thing on camera. But that also jeopardizes them because Zion was at a safe house that wasn't nobody supposed to know about.
Right.
Um, so um basically Carter tells her, like, you know what, go ahead and what I'm saying, go home for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so she leaves and goes home, and she's getting followed by
Dirty
Dirty
Diana.
Diana.
I'm almost want to call her Sloppy Diana because she just
she
don't really think things through and her shit don't really be working for
See, I would say messy Diana only
her.
because like the whole dining room scene thing
Mm-hmm.
with like she can be messy when she wants to be messy, but um and that could kind of go twofold. But I digress. So she follows her home, and she is looking for a time to attack, and she does. She don't do it right because she not a
At
killer.
all. No, because she gets the gun knocked out of her hand, then she has to fight her. Then she uses a damn skillet, which
That was
in
cast iron
hindsight,
skillet
oh
too.
yeah, no, that's why she was
Yes,
work.
indeed. Yes,
But
indeed.
what ended up happening was it was good she didn't shoot him because the damn baby was there.
True, true, yes. But so she gets her up out of there with the
Mm-hmm.
cast iron skillet, and then she sees what looks like toddler toys or something and realizes, oh snap, there's a baby there. And in the midst of all of this, as she was following Cocaine Elaine home, she lets Tariq know. So Tariq is also on the way there.
Mm-hmm. So then he gets there, and then they trying to figure out how to clean it up.
Let's just
They
talk about the fact that they were there too damn long.
way
Okay.
too long to the point where Carter came in there. Well, no, before that, the family came,
Monet came.
and then after that, Carter come in and catch all them niggas there, and it's just like absurd. Actually, that was absurd. Like the baby should have woke up. All that yelling and
Well,
carrying
the
on.
baby did wake up, and Diana and
But that was
Tariq
before
acted
they
like they
got
were
there,
cops.
right?
That was before they got there, and
Right.
she was like, "Oh, like So she put him back to sleep, and
I'm
you saying he should have woke back up,
yes, because Carter bust in there like literally just like bam, you
like
know,
like a high yellow
wake up.
shaft." Hey, he busted in like a high yellow shaft.
I can't.
Um, I mean, hey, it's it's TV land.
Yeah.
So now there's a whole snafu.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's there. This lady, Cocaine Elaine, is out of the picture. She will not be, unaliving any more pregnant babies.
No.
None of that will be occurring. The streets are safer. And but in the midst of this, then Carter's like, I'll clean this up. And Tariq, you work for us now. And Drew didn't pretty much flipped on him.
Mm-hmm. Because he like, well, I'm trying to not be in jail now, and this
Right.
will keep me out, so I'm not.
So Drew
This
didn't
is my
regulated
homie.
in jail and took out the other person who was a potential snitch and made it look like a suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he does that, and then because as once he does that, then he gets out of jail, and Carter picks him up, and then they end up there. And
Mm-hmm.
so Drew led them there is essentially
Mm-hmm.
what had occurred. So yeah,
Very eventful episode. Very eventful.
and in the process of all that happening, then Kane proposes to Noma.
Oh yeah, that was what happened toward the end. Yeah, because he like, look, you need to be a citizen. That's the quickest way to get you there, which is true.
Which is true. And
So
so
she was like, you know what? We're gonna go on and try it your way, sir. You don't have to be in control of everything.
and yet again, Effie loses another nigga. Oh, she can't hold on to him.
Man, and he gonna give her the idea he coming back. She just at his crib by
She just
herself.
she just there. Wait, now I ain't gonna tell you no lies. I wouldn't have left. His house nice as hell.
Yeah,
I'd have been right there. I'd have been in my pajamas and everything by the time he
watching
came home the next
TV.
morning. You know what
She was
I'm
about to see what
saying?
this movie talking about. What? Oh, what? I didn't even
I'm
see
all,
that.
all this nigga got is cereal, but that's fine. I'll eat that. Straight up.
Oh
Comfy.
my goodness. So I feel like we covered
Yeah, I think
basically
that's
everything
all
that
of it,
was in it.
Tariq is now on the team.
Ugh. They found their Russian to blame and
Yes,
show
they did.
Tate.
And then he
And
spits on him. I was like, oh my God, that look like real spit Lorenz.
mm, mm, mm. And it ain't even the dude that did it. You looking at him, talking to you, breathing in your face,
Nigga
lying.
got spit on for no reason,
Mm-mm. Well, you could
amongst other things. I
he
mean,
had reasons, but not with them folks.
yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But I
But you know what? Also, since we're talking about that little situation, because the way Carter kind of, you know, framed it, even his boy, even he looking at him sideways, like, oh, all right.
oh
Like,
look funny style. Even the
We,
people on this team, and they just kind of like,
we gotta look. We gotta figure out a nickname for that fool.
oh no, got to marinate on that one.
I
But
don't know, Crooked Calvin. I don't know. We'll figure it
Cookie
out.
cow, but I'm dead. That's actually good. Um, it's very good. But I am going to end it here
Yes,
because I
indeed.
feel like we covered everything. So that was Culture Foolishness Power Recap Book 2 Ghosts. I am Creative Exodus Studios, architectsofmars.com, and my co-host Eon.
Coach Tamara Simone.